In a cloud-connected app, you don't just want to read information, you also want to be able to push in new entries. So far, we've created an ID for these new entries locally, but in the case that I want to show you now, we're going to simulate that there's a server side out there that will send us a response when we create a new entry. That response, simulated by this file inside of data, create.json, will give us back a new ID. So what we're assuming here is that we send a new entry to the server will carry out some validation, and if it's all good, it's going to save it into a database, and it's going to send us back the new ID for this object. So this getNewID method, we don't need it anymore. It won't be on the follow-up examples. If you were making an app that works locally, then you would need something like this to keep track of your information. Okay, so in save, in this part, we were taking care of the update of an entry, and we'll take care of that later on with the cloud, but for now, let's just focus on creating a new entry on the cloud. I'm going to use the HTTP server one more time, but in this case, the verb is going to be post. The URL will be data create.json. Was it create.json? Yes, create.json. We want to send something to the server this time, and we'll send the entire entry object. Upon success, we get a response from the server. That response will be an object with just one property, in this case new ID. So our entry, the ID for our entry will be that new ID. We also want to add this to the list in our service. So we're going to push it to the end of the array. What if there's an error in the server? Could be a validation error, could be that the URL is not available. In that case, we can handle that error here. For now, just error. Let's give this a try. I'm going to create a new entry. We'll give it any description. And if we access this entry's information through the data, through the console, accessing our service and then the whole list, let's look at the last one. See how it has an ID of 100. So that came from the server in our assumption. And you can also see it on network that we called this server and we got this response. So as you can see, implementing Ajax calls and working with the cloud in AngularJS is extremely simple.